You are good to go, Kamarshi, and thank you once again for joining us today.
Oh, pleasure is mine. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Kamal from the Microsoft team. So, today's topic is to unleash the power of Copilot in Microsoft 365. So, let me be very specific and kind of rephrase the sentence. I'm not talking about the Copilot in general, it's about Copilot in Microsoft 365. So, few more concepts and few more touch bases we'll do on the studio or any other part. So, today we will see how you can kind of leverage its various features and integrations into enhancing your productivity and collaboration within your organization. Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to a developer who's actually working in and out where you are kind of integrating something, and if it is not enhancing your productivity, not collaborating with your organization, definitely I would not use that feature even though it is available for me or even if it's licensed for me. So as a developer you have to think about these aspects. So today we will see how to integrate Copilot with Microsoft Teams or utilize Copilot for document collaboration, because as a developer, it's just not you'll be coding all the time. You would be using all the necessary tools available to make your work productive and effective, right? We'll also see the leverage Copilot for intelligent content suggestions, enhanced data analysis. I would not be all the time coding. I would be into more of business logic. I would get into those bucket. So who's going to do the documentation part? Because we have to play a various role in it, right? So if I have something, an assistant to help me with all this, why don't I utilize it? I have to do a data analysis. I have a automatic routine tasks to be done. I have a secure collaborations to be done. Got to be stay organized in all these aspects. So how do I do it? So Copilot is kind of helping me with it. So today let's see how we can do all of this using the Copilot in M365. So you all must be knowing I'm a developer advocate at Microsoft. So just to give you a little more idea about what kind of work I do, I work for the Teams Toolkit team. I work for the Graph. I work on the Learn content, and I also work for the community. And I also do a lot of live streaming. There's a web series called Copilot Chronicles. And also, I'm kind of currently organizing a global Copilot summit in 16 cities. So I'll share the link in the chat later. So if you want to be a part of it, or you want to be an audience, or you want to be a part of the community helping me, definitely feel free to ping me, and I would be glad to assist you with it. So moving on, this is one quick poll that I always ask audience to do it. So I just freeze this screen for like a 15 seconds just to understand who my audience is basically. What did you really expect out of the session, or what is the future suggestions that I can take it from this session and kind of work on it so that I can benefit the community for it. So I'll just freeze it for like a couple of seconds, take a poll, um, and then let me know. So just a quick scan that you could do and you can keep filling on. So I'll just move on with the next slide. So coming to the agenda, yes, as I told you, the agenda is pretty simple and straightforward because still people have confusion between Copilot and Copilot in M365, Copilot Studio, or plugins. And here we kind of having a look into all these aspects so that at the end of the session, you will have a clear picture of it, and also the use cases. So coming to the Copilot. So when I say Copilot, Copilot is for Microsoft 365 that I'm talking about, which represents a new paradigm in work where AI and employees collaborate to increase productivity. See, as I told you, at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one aspect where you are kind of um, working on either your productivity, or you kind of increase the efficiency, or you kind of making the customers happy with the product that you're kind of leveraging it. So it addresses the modern challenges where it could be like overtaking our ability to keep it up. Statistics kind of, I always back up my content with statistics. You know what statistics states? That almost 64% of the people or the audience struggle with the time to energize their job, or 70% would kind of delegate the work to AI to reduce the workload. Now, who's this AI who's kind of helping me? They are the co-pilots. And also, the business leaders are kind of increasingly recognizing the value of AI in boosting the productivity rather than just reducing the headcount. So, you know how the role of AI is kind of dominating our market and our job. So Copilot is this AI assistant powered by this LLM. So when I say LLM, definitely you must have heard of a lot of sessions, people talking about it, which is the large language model that offers innovative solutions across the Microsoft cloud. Now, the aim of all this is to do what? As I mentioned, productivity, creativity, data accessibility, while providing enterprise grade data security and privacy. Because this all is what, as a developer or an architect, you're looking right? So the core value of Copilot is just not about enhancing productivity, creativity. It is also about stemming for its ability to kind of implement natural language command. Now, I don't want to speak, I know I'm speaking to a machine, I'm giving a set of instructions, but at the end of the day, I want a feel or an ability to interpret very natural language command. When I give a very pure English statement, I want the experience to make me feel more intuitive and user friendly. That is what I'm looking for. And the queries in the Microsoft Copilot, assisting data navigation or analyzing in Copilot in Microsoft Fabric, and or the Copilot in M365. Just to add another point, this all are kind of helping you automate your creation in Copilot. In Power Apps or Power Automate, or even suggesting code, which is the GitHub Copilot. As a developer, yes, we know how we used to build projects. We had to create a lot of folders. The scaffolding was not happening. But these days, I just give a single instruction and GitHub Copilot takes care of the entire project. Even now, the testing is done with the Copilot. It is taking the developers and the testers' job to a really higher level. All right. Just to summarize, you can see the various roles Outlook, I mean, the Copilot is kind of playing, whether it could be an Outlook where it kind of summarizes the content of a large email thread. Now, say, for example, I'm on holiday for almost a week and I really want to know what's really happening in the thread. Initially, I had to go through all the content, but now I have an Copilot which says summarize the content for me and it gives me the entire gist of this email. That's how easy it's making my job. Because as a developer or an architect, or irrespective of what position are you in, my job is to focus on the business of the project, not on these kind of nitty gritty details. So I have a copilot to take care of it. Why don't we use it? PowerPoint, where it helps in turning out a very text heavy slides into more concise and built bullet points for greater clarity. That is how it is helping. So all I have to do is, can you please create a template um, related to the Global Copilot Summit or something related to the LLM. I'm getting suggestions. Based on that, I take a call. I'm not going to give it to the LLM to take a call, but yeah, I'm going to refine my LLM in such a way that it gives me a better result. But I refine myself asking more precise questions. Word, rewrite a paragraph in a different style, tone, and it works out for you. So you can see on the screen how I've used different context in which Copilot is kind of helping me, whether dog, generating image, Chat GPT, or GitHub Copilot, or the Copilot one. It's really helping me. Next is understanding that we are implementing AI every day. It's becoming like a companion for me. So that an AI as an enhancer and an accelerator and not a replacer. So let me rephrase this question again. It's not a replacer. It's going to enhance your work and it's going to accelerate. So successful use of AI lies in helping humans making a better decision. That is what I would say. If you ask me what an AI is in terms, and it's not replacing those decisions altogether. So, artificial intelligence, if you look at the major transformative technology, it was widely recognized as a major technology with profound implications across various domains, including industry, healthcare, education, finance. You take everything, you have predominant usage of AI. So, here are the several reasons why we actually go for AI, consider transformative. Before getting into something, adopting something, we need to understand the history as to why should one adopt. So this kind of gives you a picture of it. So while AI has a potential to automate tasks, transform jobs, create new opportunities, extend, which will take our jobs. People are assuming that, okay, AI is going to take your job. No, definitely it's not going to take your job. The goal is to harness AI technology in a way that it benefits both business, worker, while ensure a fair and inconclusive transition that I would say to the future of work. So it's not going to take your job. It's kind of help you in making a um, better apps and more innovative solutions to your customer and kind of a pleasing, attractive solutions. So coming to the benefits of AI. So if you look at the benefits of AI, it keeps revolving around or it keeps involving leveraging its capabilities to improve processes, make it better decisions, and create value across domains. Okay, Narsim, am I kind of hearing something? Okay. So improve decision making, innovative product development, personalized experience, insightful data analysis, enhanced efficiency and productivity. So these are the benefits of using AI. Now we are just using AI just for the cause we have to use it. We have things happening, but these are the key benefits of AI. Literally, if you look one layer beneath it, so it lies in understanding its capabilities, identifying its relevant use cases, integrating AI technology into the existing workflow. So, as I told you in the previous slide, you have to harness the power of AI, individuals or organization, and unlock the new opportunities, drive innovations, achieve sustainable growth in increasing data and data driven. So, these are the benefits that you start adopting AI, if not now, at least going forward. So, coming to the Copilot for Microsoft 365, that's something which I would like to touch base on it, which I work day in and day out. Now, again, as I told you, it is a new paradigm in work where AI and employees collaborate for increased productivity. So, I use Microsoft 365 suites, and at the same time, I have this paradigm, a new paradigm, and where I have AI. So, I have to collaborate to come increased productivity. It addresses the modern challenges, kind of overtaking the ability to keep it up. And the kind of usage, you got to see it in the upcoming slides. So in a moment, yeah. So again, just to rephrase or refresh on the Copilot for Microsoft 365, yeah, it kind of helps you turn your natural language from words to a powerful productive tool. It aims to transform work. That is what, when I talk about creativity, it kind of helps you to create content faster and more efficiently. Because as a developer, architect, my focus is to think of the business logic part, not on these kind of tools or how do I kind of scaffold all these aspects. And unlocking productivity, yes, helps you focus on what matters the most. Up level skills, definitely it makes you better at what you're doing and lets you quickly master of what you have, what are you yet to learn, right? So definitely Copilot for Microsoft 365 helps you to unleash all these factors. Now, in a nutshell, if you ask me how really a Microsoft Copilot, I mean, Copilot for Microsoft 365 really work, this is the architecture. I'm sure a couple of speakers would have already shown the slide. I'm not going to go too much deep into it. We do have sessions or we have speakers talking about it, but I just want to cover a few aspects of it that might kind of interest you. So here, if you see, it gives you the points like one, two, three, which tells you the flow of the data or the moment someone asks you, enters the input asking, okay, how Microsoft Copilot for M365 works. So the Copilot first receives the input prompt. from the user in an app, such as Word or PowerPoint. Now you say, okay, can you please create a slide related to LLM, for example. So first thing, it receives the input prompt, then the Copilot then kind of pre-processes the input prompt through an approach called grounding, which is very important. That actually improves the specificity of a prompt. Okay, that means it kind of improves the quality of the prompt to help you get answers. So that is relevant and unactionable to your specific task. Then the prompt kind of includes a text from an input file or any other content discovered by Copilot. You might attach a file asking, can you kind of summarize what is the meeting, summarize of this particular meeting that happened on this particular day? It kind of analyzes the input file. And then this prompt is being sent to the LLM for processing, that you can see the arrow. So Copilot not only accesses data that as an individual user, but also it kind of access based on the existing M365 role-based access controls. It does that. Now, after the LLM, it takes the response from the LLM and post-process it. So when I say post-process, it includes other grounding calls to Microsoft Graph or AI check, security, compliance. So it's kind of getting into all these and the privacy review and command generations. So the post pre-process, this is what it happens. Then the Copilot returns the response to the app, where the user can review the response and assess it basically. He tells, okay, if this is a really a good one or he needs a modification on it. And this is an iterative process, right? And then it kind of orchestrates these sophisticated services to help produce results and relevant to your organization because they're contextually based on your organizational data. So, in a nutshell, this is how it works. But if you really want to get deep into it, definitely you would have speakers or you would have a session exclusively covering this topic. So each of the main component here, that is the main M365 applications that you see, has Copilot that you can use. So here are some of the ways that you could use, either in Teams, PowerPoint, Excel, Word, Outlook, Loop. If you haven't tried Loop, definitely give it a try. A best way to kind of summarize what you're doing if you're working on a project, it comes up with templates. So it's a very easy, best way, a lot of good suggestions, easy way to draft everything in one single point, connect things as well, and definitely give it a try if you haven't worked with loops. Now, next question really comes across Copilot across Microsoft Cloud. So, as I told you, always we come up with three options, either adopt, extend, or build, right? So the user can effortlessly adopt Copilot to stream their workflow, or if it's extending part or building part, you choose your path. Which do you want to go for? If you're using already the one pre-built one plugins, or you're going to go for your custom Copilot based on your project needs. So here a developer or a creator have the flexibility to extend by integrating custom data, right? So building custom Copilot solution which can be seamlessly integrated into new or an existing application. And these Copilot kind of offers you a very comprehensive range of features right out of the box. Yet many user kind of depends on the external tools, services, data. So to bridge this gap, Copilot can be extended using plugins, connectors, or messaging extension. Say, for example, a custom Copilot can be built to provide a chat interface. Let's take an example of a chat interface. Now, here in the chat, you have to access the help desk tickets and knowledge base articles. So rather than using this traditional search techniques or navigating across multiple applications, user can conveniently conversationally UI provided by the custom Copilot to find information they need. So if I have that as a plugin, I can get the entire access of my help desk with the knowledge base in a single point. So that is the advantage or using this copilots or extending Copilot in M365. So if you really want to get started with Microsoft 365, definitely watch out for this link. Just type get started with M365 Copilot and you will find details on it. Yeah, so moving on to the plugins part, which play also a very vital role. So moving plugins, when I say extending Copilot for Microsoft 365, you are transforming your entire app into a plugin. That is one way of doing. Another way is using Microsoft Graphs. So adding plugin connectors or message extensions to Copilot kind of helps users make the most out of these AI assistants. So users can more easily discover, work with their enterprise data, because we are working with enterprise data. We are not working with a single screen or dummy data, right? We are working with large chunk of data, tools, services using natural language. So which kind of improves productivity and enhance teamwork. So plugins kind of expand the user skills by interacting with your web services. And with plugins, you can do this. So when you build a plugin, you enable user to interact with the web service using natural language with Microsoft Copilot. So there, if you ask me what is plugins really good at, I would say accessing real-time information, retrieving relational data, and performing actions across apps. Plugins is the best suited for it. So if you're going for plugin, if you have these requirements and you have to fulfill it, go ahead with it. So coming to the quality of a good plugin, I have tons of plugin, but which makes it outstand is it's built for safety and responsible AI. That is what I would say. Kind of support multi-parameter search queries, not a single parameter. Avoid generic descriptions. I ask when I feed in some questions and I get a very generic descriptions, definitely that's not what I'm looking for in a plugin. And and do not assume copilots can guess your required input. But it depends on how you train your LLM, but that's another different aspect of the discussion. That's another discussion on its own. But never assume Copilot can kind of guess what's the required input. Maybe it kind of give you suggestions with few prompts, but never assume that. Extending with plugin, yes, as you can see the flow, how it works. So plugins allows user to interact directly with your API services, enhancing the capabilities of Copilot. And the range of the functionality is by pulling the data in external data. For example, plugin can enable Copilot retrieve real-time data. That's what you see, which we use on a day-to-day base, such as latest news coverage, weather, product launch, um, say for example, I'm scheduling a team meeting and I have people in different zones. So am I going to go out of this application, navigate to a different application? Okay, look, what's IST for my this time zone? um, what's the IST equivalent to other time zone? No, my system should be smart enough to take care of it, adjust the time zones, and send out a meeting request accordingly. So Copilot is going to help me with do that. So it's going to feed in or retrieve real-time data and kind of reflect it. So when you extend Copilot, so we say keep extend, right? So what do you mean exactly by extending? So when you extend a Copilot for Microsoft 365, you are kind of maximizing the efficiency of an app. Data by data with AI, by enriching the data estate of your enterprise. Because with industry leading with AI, you have to enrich your data sets, keeping the user flow of their work from start to finish. Now, if I have an external application, if I don't have a control of it, and on the other side, if I have control of all of these aspects in just one point, definitely the flow of their work is really smooth and start to finish is being under control. Integrating or inheriting world class security, because at the end of the day, security really matters for me, compliance, and privacy policies. So these are the few aspects why you really go for extend. The moment I say extend your Copilot for Microsoft 365, this is what I mean. And this is the few more details where you talk about again, you use plugins or you use Microsoft Graph. So totally it depends on the scenario. So first it was just the Copilot. The upper layer, you can see it's a Copilot for Microsoft 365, and you saw the benefits of extending. So Copilot on its own is itself is a powerful tool that I would say. Because in general skills, what does M365 application does is you understand, summarize, translate, predicting, recalling, generating content. This is what it does, right? The Copilot on its own. But the baseline of this is just your organization knowledge. At the end of the day, it's only confined to organize your org data, right? It's not going out. So it's getting inside the org data and doing different tasks by indexing the content with graphs, and then you're sending email, chats, documents. Good. But when you extend it, it is going one level deeper where it's connecting it to your external world, getting data, and seeing how you can plug in it. So that's all about extending part. So two ways of extending, as I told you, one is either plugin or other one is either through graph connectors. So you augment your Copilot. You're telling with the skills through plugin or grounding it with organizational data through graph connectors. So you can build a plugin by building a Microsoft Teams message extension or Power Platform. There are different ways to do it, or even more options might be coming soon as well. Maybe when you come for the Microsoft build, you would have few more options getting updated. So if you already have a message extension or a Power Platform connectors, then you already have a foundation to create a plugin for Copilot. That is what my assumptions are. So the main three steps to set up graph connectors: simple, create a connection, follow this, and you're good to go. Create a connection, register your schema, and inject your content into Microsoft Graph. Simple as that. So the picture kind of tells you how you can kind of build your plugins, or how you can extend your Copilot for Microsoft 365. So here is one such example. It's a preview support that I would love to show, where it's a Northwind inventory. I'm sure a couple of speakers must have used this example. It's kind of a universal example that we use to show. So it's kind of used. So while we deploy it, we just kind of switch on the plugin mode, and then you're good to use the entire app into your M365. So whether it's calendar or whether it's email, Teams, chat, I'm able to access this Northwind inventory. So that's how the support for plugin is used here. So this screen kind of gives you a sample response from Copilot using data from Graph connectors. So Graph Connector kind of indexes your issue repository from the GitHub, representing a result in a very plain text, when opposed to an adaptive card format. In fact, so by comparing this with the message extension example shown early, you can see the difference between them. The previous one that I showed you, when compared to that, you can see the differences here. So this is another way of whatever I've told you in a textual or in the word format, the same thing that you can see in a picture format, whether it's Power Platform or Graph or Teams message extension, you can see how it kind of works. It totally depends on the use case. So here's another example of a writable data and a message extension. So it's just not one-way communication. It's just not displaying a data for me. When I say, okay, can you please get me the stock available in this particular inventory? It's just not about retrieving it. It also manages the product inventory, where you can search the data, display the result, and it also allows you to modify the stock. So you can see there, I can update the stock, and real time it gets updated on your enterprise applications. So that is the flexibility of plugins when you extend Copilot and M365. So which to use when, it totally depends on a couple of scenarios. So first thing is check out if it's more of real-time data, if it's structured data or it's unstructured data. So you find out your use case. This kind of gives you a clear picture when to go for plugin and when to go for graph connectors. And do not blindly also go for it. Find out your use case, do some research analysis. Sometimes you might have initially suggested plugin as a good one, but then uh, down the line, when you kind of analyze the project, you found graph is a better one. Justify yourself, then go ahead with it. And if it's only read only, or if it's read and write, understand and then go for it. Then coming on to the other part, yeah, follow this link if you want to know more about Extend Copilot M365. What better way to learn something from scratch, understand, and use it if you already have one and working with Microsoft day in and day out, and you want to extend it? Go ahead, give it a try. And yeah, that's it for today, I think. So here is my LinkedIn, Twitter. Feel free to ping me if you have any questions. Just wanted to let you know that I do a Copilot Chronicle series. So if you have any questions related to the tech series, or you want to get an in-depth knowledge on a couple of the extension of Copilot, please watch the series. You will get an in-depth knowledge, because the team who's interacting or whom I keep doing a live stream, they all are industry experts with more than a decade experience. So definitely they are the ones who really work out these extensions and plugins. So they would give you a very good insight on how it really works and why did they come to this conclusion, or how did this really work. Yeah, that said, I think I'm done with it. Thank you so much. And any questions or any suggestions, input, feedback, since I work with the Microsoft team, I would be glad to take it up.
I think would like to thank you, Kamal, for spending your time and sharing this wonderful insights with the audience today, and to everyone who joined. Thanks a lot for joining this evening with us, and hope you really have enjoyed the session. And as Kamal mentioned, that if you have any queries around Copilot, feel free to reach out to her, or you can as well post in the chat for any questions you have. So with that said, we'd like to really thank you, Kamal, for joining today.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you guys. And any questions, ping me. Glad to take it. Looking forward for more collaborations. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Sure. And again, for our next session, we would definitely start on next session shortly as planned. And the next session would be New Era for Power Platform with Copilot by Dr. Shushma Uday Kamath. So by the time she joins, feel free to share any questions you have in the chat. We would just give her some more time because we finished the current session a little ahead.
Hi, Samik. Good evening. I'm Dr. Sushma here.
Hey, hello, Dr. Shushma. Thank you for
Hi,
joining.
good evening. Yeah, so shall we wait for 10 more minutes to begin, or can
Uh,
we start the session? I'm
I
okay with
think we
either.
can give just a few minutes, and let
Okay,
me confirm back as well that if we can get started, please allow
sure.
us few minutes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining a little early. Maybe we can get started if that works.
Hi, yes, that works. I'm going
Then
to now begin the session. Allow me for a second. I'm going to share screen.
sure.
Okay, that's wonderful.